Hello everyone, it's Diane. I'm sorry I haven't been on very much lately. I've just been kind of bogged down and not feeling very creative, and I've been tidying up and cleaning and destashing and stuff like that. You have seen me more listing stuff to sell than I have been creating. But I did start working on a Peacock journal yesterday, and I did a video, but it wasn't a very good video, so I don't want to make videos just so I have a video to post. I want to give you some good content. So you'll be seeing fewer videos. They won't be every day, but there will be hopefully 3 a week, but I'm not going to hold myself to that. So anyway, here's one for this week. So I have this kit, and I looked it up to see who made this kit. I could tell you, and that was yesterday, so I forgot. Let me just look here in my binder, my list of stuff. Nope, that's not it. Well, it says Perfect Peacock, but it doesn't say who did it. So I guess I will just post that in the, or link it in the description below. But it's called Perfect Peacock, and it comes with a lot of pages and ephemera and some cards. And I also have a journal kit. I think it's called Vintage Peacock, and it's from Adamo Prints, and there were a lot of cards from that. And I decided to use these pressboard folder file dividers to make the covers. So I chose P for Peacock and F for feather because we love the peacock feathers. So I cut it to size to fit my paper, and it's 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, I believe. And I have this very thick textured wallpaper that I got at a flea market, and I just thought that was perfect for a peacock journal. Look at all the gold swirls and the blue swirls. It looks perfect to me. But it's quite textured and thick, and I was afraid that it might not stick down very well onto the press board. So I put some glue in the center and put it down, laid it down, and then cut around it so it's just flush with the chipboard. I didn't want to try to fold that. And then I stitched around it a couple of times with some black thread. And the tab is going to end up on the back, because if it was on the front, it would be on the spine. So it's going to be over here. And I cut some blue metallic cardstock with my Cricut, and I'll be putting an image on it. I have several. I'm going to be making 2 journals. That's why there's the F and the P. So I have several images to choose from. Oh, I wanted to put this up and maybe put this. I also cut some rose gold metallic with some labels and some fancy dies. These fancy ones are from Graphic 45. I think that's really pretty. But I think I'll do something like this. But I'm going to wait until I have the cover put together. So let's do that now. I didn't really know what I'd be doing today. I just know I'm going to be working, and I haven't been able to give you a video for a while, so I thought I would just turn the camera on. I'll set these aside. I took another piece of the press board and cut a 2-inch spine and 2 inches by 8 1/4. So we're going to just put this together. If you haven't seen me do this before, you will see how I put together a cover. This is just like I would do if this was a book cover, a vintage book cover. I have this red tape. It's not really red. The liner on it is red, so when I peel that off, it will be clear. but this is available at any of the craft stores. Some of them have their own brand. I get the 1/4 inch. It comes in 1/8, 1/4, and 1/2 inch. And I get the 1/4. I did buy an 1/8 inch by mistake from Amazon, and so sometimes it's on a bigger diameter roll, depending on where you get it. But I think Joann's has their own brand of it, and Hobby Lobby might have their own brand. I'm not sure. They all sell it, but I'm not sure if they're branded as their own. But it used to be $3 a roll, and I think there's 15. I don't remember how many yards or feet. I've been buying them for so many years, I just buy them. They all sell them. They used to be $3, and now they're either $3.50 or $3.99, depending on where you get them. And I probably need to buy some more. I don't know if this is my last roll or not. If I run out, then I just use my 1/8 inch that I bought by mistake and just put 2 strips, but that means I have to peel twice as many of the liners off, and sometimes it's hard to get under those liners and get them pulled off. So I just do it on the spine edge of the covers and then all around the perimeter of the spine. And then you can just take off the liner. Well, before I really do that, let me get my tie back. I use a tie-back sheet, a strip, to really reinforce the spine. You can get this from Amazon. I used to buy it in a large envelope, but now it's available in sheets. I think the last time I talked about it, I said that I couldn't find it in sheets anymore, but I saw it the other day, so I just don't need any more right now, so I didn't purchase it. Kind of feel like I should, because who knows if you can get it. But the envelopes work. It's just much handier to have it in a sheet, so you don't have to cut the envelope apart, and you don't have the seams and the flap to deal with. I really like having the sheets. My sewing machine really did not like sewing through that thick textured wallpaper. I think the texture was just, it kept getting hung up on it. Oh, I was going to cut this before I peeled everything off, but that's okay, because I don't want to lay this down on it now. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little shorter than the spine, but it will have fabric on it. I could cut it this way, but I'm going to do it this way. Just going to get a guesstimate on how wide it needs to be. Yep, that'll work. Now I have to move this up so I can see the ruler grid on my mat. I've done this many times on video, but perhaps you have never seen it, so we'll just go ahead, get stuff out of my way. So I can see the bottom part of my grid, and you might not be able to see the bottom of my, well, let me get this out of the way completely, and I can do it higher up where you can see. So I put this in a corner of the bold lines so it's straight. And then I lay my spine piece down with a tiny, tiny gap in between. And try not to have my fingers on the tape when I pick my hand up, otherwise the piece will move. I've done it many, many, many times. And then I'm making sure the bottom is lined up with the bold grid line. So that's lined up nicely. And here is my Tyvek. I'm just going to, I wiggled that. This is a little curved, so it's not lying flat down, so I need to be real careful not to move it. It may have wiggled, but I may be able to fix it. It's a little offset, a little bent over that way, so I'm just gonna take that off and lay it down in the center. I don't like to do it this way, but okay, that seems good. Now, I didn't choose a fabric for the spine. I do have my boho fabrics right here. I don't know if I have a piece that would work for this. It's my farmer's market tub from Hobby Lobby. Maybe. This is a nice cotton fabric. I should definitely use this in my journal somewhere because it looks like it's a plant, but it looks like a peacock tail. It's got some gems on it, but I don't really like it with the cover. I usually like to use a nice cotton fabric or a sturdier fabric, but if I find something in here that will work, doesn't look like we're gonna. So I think I'm not gonna, this would work, but I'm not gonna put it on until I look through my other fabrics. So I might not do that in this video. Let me see. I don't really want to sew the binding through that either, so I don't think we'll use that. So I'll have to look through my other fabrics. So I won't be adding the decorations to the front because I want to get the fabric on here and trim on there first to make sure I kind of have it where I have the decorations where I want them. Another thing I thought I could do in this video was use some of my Peacock stamps. I don't think I want to be making more ephemera because there's so much ephemera in the kits that I have. But I do have some stamps that I can use, so I'll just cut a few pages and stamp on the pages. So those are all peacocks. Oh, and this one. I have 4 peacock stamps. Well, 3 peacocks and 1 feather. But I also have some bohemian looking flowers and some bohemian ladies that would go well with this kind of journal. And these designs, quotes. I have some blue dyed paper that I will use for pages, along with the digital kit, and I do have some peacock feather scrapbook paper. Let's see. 10 3/4, so just cutting off a smidgen by 8 1/4, I believe, is the measurement of the digital pages. So just a smidgen either way. Let me just make sure that that is the correct measurement. It would not be the first time that I cut all my papers and realized that I had the wrong measurement in my head. I don't do well keeping numbers in my head, but this is correct. That's pretty good because it was last night that I was cutting papers and I remembered. was more than what I cut off the other one. Because I did 8 1/8. That's okay. Not a problem at all. This is from this was from a tablet. It was torn off, so I think it's slightly bigger. Yep. But I love the die pattern on this with the doily. Plastic doily. Okay. Maybe I'll do 3 of the light blue and 3 of the dark blue. Wait. Yeah. For each journal. So I'm only cutting 1 journal's worth of paper right now. But that's enough to do some stamping on. Sorry, I didn't think to get the paper cut ahead of time. It's just not going to be even together. Better to take a little more time and do it right. I think 4 pages is probably enough for us to work with this morning. I did get my room cleaned and vacuumed yesterday. I've been working on cleaning it over a period of days, a month, along with doing other things. But I got it done yesterday and vacuumed it. And I have been destashing stuff. And I've been listing some things, but I have a bunch more stuff that needs to get listed. I'm hoping I can do some more listing today, but I'm also trying to prepare for getting my taxes done. Every year I say I'm going to keep on top of it all year, but I don't, because I hate doing it. So I just put it off and put it off. So I started tackling that yesterday. Okay, that page is tall. Supposed to be 8 1/4. Yeah, that's a little tall. All right, so I did bring some embossing powders over here with me. Thought we would do some embossing. I know that you have to listen to the heat gun because I don't edit my videos. Let us start with this gorgeous peacock feather. I don't know if I've ever used it. I probably bought it on sale and saved it for when I was doing a peacock journal. I think I'll just have it coming down from the top. This is my embossing buddy. It's probably filled with cornstarch or something, and it just reduces static on the page so the embossing powder doesn't stick where I don't want it. Fold this. Oh, it is folded. Okay. I like to have a fold in the center so I can pick the paper up and put the powder back into the jar. I think I'll do this one with some colored embossing powder. I have some gold here too. So I'm going to be sparing with the powder. Normally I just kind of pour it right on there because it'll all go back into the container, but it might mix with the green. So shaking it off like I did, just it went over the embossing powder, so it did stick. But hopefully I can get a little of the green to stick. Yeah, there's a little bit. I think it'll look good. Now they're both on the same paper though, so it's kind of tricky. But I did this before, mixing embossing powders, and I just let the embossing powders mix and use them for some fun things. So it's not a big deal. Just need a container to put them in. My embossing powders last a long time anyway. Just let that warm up a little bit. That is very pretty. I like that. And I can do something over here. You see it goes through there. Let's do a flower. I don't think I have any purple embossing powder. Did you hear that? My sheets are dry. Now, there isn't much blue in this mixture, but maybe we'll see some specks of blue once we melt this. Yeah, I see some specks of blue. And maybe it's just these specks coming through. This is the Tim Holtz embossing glaze, so it is see-through. Hope I wasn't shouting. But that looks pretty. Yeah, I think the blue I see is just the speckles from the dye. But I really like the way that looks. They do look like they're different colors. This one is has more of a green tint because there is green mixed with it. And this one is separate blue and a little bit of green. But you can see it through there, so it designed both sides. I want to try gold embossing powder on this dark paper with this Peacock. Cindy gave me this stamp. Thank you, Cindy. Sometimes I forget to use the embossing buddy. Sometimes I just don't bother. And so sometimes there are specks of embossing powder stuck where you don't want them because they stick to oils or static on the paper. But you can just take a soft paintbrush, fine paintbrush, and brush away flecks that you can get to without marring your design. Most of the embossing powder I've had for many years, except for the Tim Holtz stuff. Now, this paper isn't extremely flat because it was dyed, so there's a spot right there that the embossing powder didn't touch. Let's see how it looks. You can see how generous I was with the embossing powder, but I can just dump it right in and reuse it. This is why they last so long. And plus, I don't use them all the time. I don't see a lot of other junk journalers using embossing powder, though. You can see it melting. Very pretty. Now I wonder if I put some more powder or ink on there, if I could kind of fill that gap. No, I don't see any ink. It looks darker when the ink is on it. You know, makes it look a little wet, so I'm not going to try. But it looks pretty the way it is. Maybe I'll put this little design across the top. Trying to make it lay straight. It wants to bend. And there is a grid marked on this block. Yeah, I'll just do one little piece instead of trying to match it up and do it all the way across. And it probably won't be straight. Pretty sure I have a peacock feather embossing folder too. You cannot see the detail on that stamp very well, but it looks pretty. But I want to try an experiment. I have another gold embossing powder from Stampin' Up, and it's detail, so it must be finer. So let's just experiment with that. See if this looks more detailed. That one end. See how it moved up? It's pretty straight there now. It moved up again. Another thing you don't want to do is with the clear ones, press down too hard because it squishes it and gives you a less sharp image. So I may have been pressing down too hard. It already looks like I can see better detail. Fast too. Definitely more detail in this one. So we'll use it for the big peacock too. Now I'm getting embossing powder on my scrap paper, so the powder that I pour out might stick to it. Or embossing ink. I'm using Versamark. It's a watermark stamp pad. So if I just stamped this, put this down on this paper and left it to dry, it would look like a watermark. So you wouldn't see it. You would, oh, I put that on the wrong. No, we'll just fold the paper this way. It wouldn't be a bold standout, but it would show. But because it's a wet ink, it stays wet longer. You can use it for embossing. Once again, that it's filled in a little more, but not completely. Looks like I have little tiny snippets of paper that were on my scrap paper and got dumped back in the container. Very pretty. So these two will be in one signature. This will go in the other journal. And I'll have 2 more light blues and 2 more dark blues, one for each signature. They don't all have to be embossed. I can just use black ink or purple ink. But I'm not a fan of purple, so I don't know if I have any purple ink. I have thistle. I don't know if that's purple enough. yeah, that looks purple. I have a tendency to always put stamps in the corners, but I've been recently trying to just move things around, give it a little bit of interest. He looks pretty. Guess I might as well, since I have them already inked, might as well do one for the other book. And then I think I've used up all of my papers that I trimmed. Yep, I like these peacocks. I'm glad I'm getting to use my peacock stamps. Let me show you what else I have. I have these beads. I believe I bought them on a string, and then I made these little dangles. And these are some of the little pieces that come with the kit. There's a little one. I don't think so. And it comes with some pockets. These tags came from something else. I've had them for a long time. I don't remember where I got them. And some of these cards are from Adamo Prints. I went through my handmade ephemera last night and pulled out some things that I might use, because I don't need to make ephemera to put in pockets, but I need to make pockets. So these might work. I was thinking of the swan journal that I'll be doing for some of these pieces. This doesn't belong in there. None of these belong in there. So I guess just those two pieces for Peacock. And I can take some of the ephemera and add them to tags and things like that. And let's do that. So that is kind of making ephemera, right? Let's see what we have here. I was wondering if I should print another page with the pockets on it, but I have cut off pieces I can use to make pockets. So each journal will get one of these digital pockets. I haven't even cut all my pages yet. What was I looking for? Oh, I want to get my boho trims. Well, I have my boho fabrics, but I don't know where the little pieces are. I don't want to spend too much time looking while I got the video rolling. See, I have all these different containers, so I'd have to look through them to see which one has my little pieces. I don't think they're all in here. Sorry. Definitely want to put something on this. I don't even know what this is. I think somebody gave this to me, and I've used it in quite a few different types of journals. It's like a paper fabric. Not sure. I don't even know if I'm going to put this video on. Might be days and days and days before you get to see a video. Maybe I'll just go with this. Yeah, that can hang off the bottom of the page too. I think I got this in a Happy Mail also. Thought I had a more full glue bottle. Oh, here it is. Oh, we're almost out of time, too. I almost went up to my shopping area to check out the Hobby Lobby sale, if they're having one at my store. They don't have them when I see everybody else posting stuff. And to look at Best Buy for a camera. But I had too much stuff I needed to do. Like, I didn't want to put off getting started on my taxes. And I don't need anything from Hobby Lobby. I'd like to go see what's on sale, but I don't need anything. I'm not going to miss it if I don't get it. I'm trying to destash stuff again. It's like I'm always trying to destash stuff. So, I stayed home. When I feel like I'm a little more caught up here, maybe I'll go. Maybe this week, maybe next week. Well, that's a cute pocket. I don't know what page it's going to go on. It won't be one of these, but that's what it would look like on the page. So I'll do something very similar on this one. Something the same, because I have two of the same embellishments. And I made something already, didn't I? Where did I put those? Oh yeah, I made some journaling cards. And that is on a video. Okay, we have one pocket for each journal, and they're really cute. I would do something like take some colored index cards or tags and add some of these embellishments, or even the smaller cards. There's some more pockets too. One for each journal. These are kind of big books, so I can use a bigger tag. So I don't want to do anything too elaborate. I'm just in that frame of mind that I need to do something simpler. And how can peacocks be simple? But as simple as I can make them. So I could sew this on and add some sari silk and add some color. I'm going to get my sprays that I made. I know we're running out of time. We've run out of time. But my camera hasn't been shutting off at 44 minutes, so I'm just going to use my lighter sprays, the ones I made with food coloring. This is Incense Purple. And I'll dry that and add a little bit of blue. Sky blue. I don't have any gold spray. I have this shimmer. That I could add to a spray. I'd like to put a little shimmer on the tag. That stuff wasn't cheap, but I don't use it that much. I don't know if this will work with this brush. Probably too soft. Yeah, it's too soft. So I'm just going to dot some shimmer around on here. And maybe spray it with water and see if it'll spread it around a little bit. I think it's spreading it a little bit. Now I have a sparkly paintbrush. I have put this, it's Iridescent Medium by Winsor & Newton. I got mine at Amazon, and I have put it in some of my sprays. I'm going to sew around this with black thread and probably just glue it to the tag. And I don't know, maybe add a little trim or something to it. This will have to be reinforced if I want to add sari silk to it, but that's a pretty big hole right there. Let's see if this works. I'm just going to grab a scrap of paper. It won't be the right color. I just want to see if this size works to make a gigantic reinforcement. No, I should do this first. No. Yes. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think that'll work. I know I can attach a handle to this, which is probably what I need to do, but I'm just checking the size. Yeah, it's really off center. But if I had it centered, it would be just about right. So I could do that. You know, I would punch this out and then use washi tape to tape a little paper handle to it so I could put it in there and center it. And then that might work there in the right color. But there's the start of that. So I better go. We're getting close to an hour here. So I hope to get some stuff listed today, but that will be yesterday for you when you see this video. So I'll just be listing stuff pretty regularly as I destash, and I'm still moving out some of my flea market finds. So I'm pretty busy with all of that stuff, but I still want to do some creative items too. Oh, look at this. This is blue, shimmery blue. You can see the shimmer on that. It's almost gone. I think that helps give it more of a jewel tone look with that deeper blue. Okay, yeah. That looks better. All right, now I'll go. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're having a creative day today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.